Hey guys, I'm
Hey.
back. I've got Sarah Baker here. How's it going?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. So we have a video for you guys today on smoky fragrances. I know you guys like these types of notes. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Add a comment below. Let us know what you like about smoky fragrances and what you don't like about smoky fragrances. But we've got 20 smoky fragrances for you today. Why don't you find out coming right up. How's it going?
Good. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
So Sarah and I have shot several videos together. If you're curious to watch them, just shoot Sarah, search Sarah Baker on the channel.
Don't shoot me.
Don't shoot her. So yeah, you can find more videos together on the channel. And she actually has a flanker to one of her fragrances.
Yeah,
that
I do.
You just launched.
Yes.
It's called Tartan Cask. So tell us about Tartan.
Okay, so
Cask.
Tartan was the original, and we were inspired by the Scottish Highlands, and we went for a walk in the Scottish Highlands, and then went to a pub and had some whiskey. And this fragrance is kind of recreating that scene. It has notes of heather and it's cedar and lavender.
Is it a fougere?
It's very fougere-like, and I think now with Tartan Cask, which
Love
is
that.
the smokier brother of Tartan, I'd say it's more of a fougere. It's very smoky. It's like having a peaty whiskey.
Okay.
Do you find it smoky?
It's smoky, but it's totally wearable because smoke fragrances can be a bit challenging, but you can totally wear this because for me, it's a boozy fougere with smoky touches. And you've got some leather in there and lots of woods.
Leather and jasmine tea, lots of wood, cedar.
But you also have
Buddha wood.
Buddha wood. But you also have bread.
Bread.
Bread note.
Bread. It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's like a sourdough bread, like a freshly baked sourdough bread note.
You know, I actually like this much more than your original version.
Yeah, a lot of people prefer Tartan Cask over Tartan, I'm hearing. But it's definitely smokier. If you have to like smoky fragrances to like this one, I think.
Well, I think the smoke has actually improved the fragrance.
Interesting.
It brought out the lavender a lot more. Because I didn't get a lot of lavender in the last one.
And the perfumer, Sarah McCartney, she actually simply used a different kind of cedar to create the smoky note.
Okay.
Yeah.
See what happens when you change the ingredients or
It's
change
the source.
the sources?
Yeah.
The smell's different.
Yeah, totally.
All right, moving on to the House of Angelos Creations OLFACTIVES. It's KARIKIA, this one right here. This launched a couple years ago. We actually featured this in our mystery box. Actually, it launched last year is what I should say. It's extremely smoky, but also gourmand, and it's a lot of tobacco. And I think Angelos did a great job on this one. If you're into the idea of wearing smoky fragrances and you like artisanal indie fragrances, you're going to love this. It's intense, super, super long lasting, and extremely smoky.
What is the name of this one?
This one's called KARIKIA. You can see in the bottom there.
And it has some spices.
A lot of spices for sure.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I think he did a great job on that.
It's kind of has a sweetness, a sticky, syrupy note, I think.
Yeah, there's hazelnut syrup pancake, it says.
That's exciting.
So we're going to the House of Tom Ford with EBENE FUMEE. I know there's a little bit left here.
You must like this one a lot.
Well, I've grown to enjoy it. I started off not really loving it. And, you know, it's a spicy, incensey, woody fragrance with, you know, ambery touches when it's drying down. Are you a fan of Tom Ford fragrances?
Yeah, I do like quite a few Tom Ford fragrances, actually.
This is actually not used up all by me, but I do enjoy it now. I've lent it to my brother who's gotten into Tom Ford fragrances.
Oh, okay. And he gave it back to you.
Yeah.
He found something else.
Well, now he's discovered Portrait of a Lady, actually.
Oh, okay.
For the first
That's
time.
a very different type of a fragrance from this, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you think of this? It's ambery.
It's good. It's not
peppery.
not like, yeah, it's not that smoky. It's peppery. I'd say it's definitely peppery. It doesn't really have as much of a sort of smokiness to it that I would expect it to.
Yeah, and smoky fragrances can be in all different directions. Like some of it could smell like barbecue, right?
Definitely. And this one does not have the sort of smokehouse smoke on it. It's more of like the thin sort of see-through smoke. It's not filling the room.
There's actually some ingredients you can buy to add to your food to flavor it with smoke.
Oh.
To me, it's a bit more like that.
Yeah.
It's a light trace of smoke rather than you've charred it and it's extremely smoky.
It's like that thin line of cartoon smoke.
Oh,
You know? Yeah.
cartoon
that one,
smoke.
That you know. the cartoon smoke.
All right. Tom Ford's Cartoon Smoke. This next fragrance is probably a top 5 fragrance from this house. It's Tiziana Terenzi's Laudano Nero.
It's good.
Basically, it means black labdanum. And it's got ash in here. But it's also quite boozy. It's so good. I don't know if you guys know this one. A lot of people compare this to Black Afghano. But do you get that? I guess the ideas might be similar.
I'm not an expert on Black Afghano, so I can't necessarily. If I had it right here, I would be able to tell you. But I'd say I love this.
I love it too.
It is really, really nice. I like the booziness. I like the ash.
The ashy quality is great.
It's also not smokehouse, but it definitely, you can sense the smoke in it. It's quite lovely.
Well, for me, it's after it's caught on fire, it turned to ash. So there's traces of smoke in there, but it's more like a different smell. That's what it is for me.
Yeah, very nice.
Absolutely love it.
Wearable, very wearable.
Very wearable, yeah. That was the very first Terenzi fragrance I ever got.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love it. No, it might be my second, because I think the first one was Maremma.
And how many do you have now?
Oh, quite a bit.
Yeah, they have a lot of fragrances.
They do. But this next one's going to an indie niche house of imaginary authors. It's called City on Fire. See the match right there? So are you familiar with Burnt Match is one of the notes in here.
Yeah, I really like this house. I mean, they are amazing. They are like the original indie house, American
indie house, yes. Josh Meyer, great guy. I know him personally. This is Burnt Match, Labdanum, Juniper, Nard, and fruity notes.
I really like this one, and it's definitely the smokehouse. Like it is undoubtedly very smoky.
Yeah, totally. It was the very first real authentic smokehouse smoky fragrance that I ever got. And for some reason, there's a brightness behind the smoke. So sometimes when it's completely dark and smoky, it's like not very inviting. There is an inviting quality about that one.
And you could even say probably that a City on Fire kind of opened the door to smoke fragrances.
Yeah, you open the door and smoke comes and hits you. All right, moving on to a house called AKRO. It's simply smoke. This is also the very first fragrance I fell in love with AKRO.
Okay. Do you like smoky fragrances? Is that one of your...
They're challenging to wear, but I like this because this one opens up and dries down to a smokier take on Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford.
But did you also lend this one to your brother? Because it's used up.
No, this is all me.
Okay.
This is all me.
Yeah, you like this one. You've worn this
one
a lot.
I love this one a lot because it does have those sweeter resins, benzoin and vanilla. Since 2019, I've had it. So it's 6 years. Is it
so
6 years?
It's interesting to me because nicotine is one of the notes.
Yeah.
Now, this one smells a bit to me like cigarette smoke.
Cigarette ash.
Yeah,
right?
ash.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say ashtray because that sounds maybe rude, and I don't mean to be rude. It is a very nice fragrance.
I don't think if you say ashtray, it's bad.
Well, usually the smell of ashtrays isn't really like, thought of as being a great smell, but it works here maybe because of the balance of the other things. It's got tobacco, which is sweet.
Yeah, I really love this one. It's still my favorite from AKRO, and you know why it's good? It's this halfway because for me, AKRO fragrances are not so thick. They're easier to wear. They're not dense.
It seems very like a man would. This is very man fragrance to me.
It's manly, right?
Yeah, it's very manly.
Yeah, a lot of the smoky fragrances I think also lean masculine.
Totally.
Whereas we've done some notes breakdowns together with more feminine. This is definitely more of a masculine list.
I'd say this list is definitely masculine for sure. Though a woman could be more leaning towards her masculine side and wear it. It's not that you have to be a man. It's just that it's masculine.
Yeah, I consider these notes more masculine, just in general.
Yeah.
Totally. All right, up next, going to the house of Serge Lutens. This is ECRIN de FUME. Do you know this one?
I do. It's a very professional fragrance. I'd say these guys are like, Serge Lutens is such a gorgeous house. They really make beautiful fragrances.
It's a fiery gourmand.
Oh, it's so good.
With cacao and tobacco and rum.
You get the cacao for sure.
Oh, it's very chocolatey for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And it develops on skin. It's even more cacao. It's just on the strip. It doesn't really shine, but it's a great release.
I think it does. Yeah. It's really nice.
You like it?
Yeah, I really like this one.
Do you get the boozy qualities?
Definitely, and I love the cacao mixed in with it. Like that's such a brilliant addition to something that's smoky and boozy.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's like one of 3 or 4 tobacco fragrances. In fact, I have a short on the channel of the 3 fragrances that are tobacco focused. We've got Serge as well. And then there's another one, I'm drawing a blank. But moving on to a house called Binet Papillon. This is number 10, Malt Night Fighter. So this is also a boozy
When you say number 10, you mean that's the name of the fragrance?
They have them numbered, as you can see, 10 here.
Oh, okay. I'm not very familiar with this house. So they number their fragrances.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a smaller indie niche house. I think it used to be just called Papillon or something. Not Papillon Perfumery from the UK, but something similar. But they changed their name and they combined two different brands. But what do you think of this? It's quite smoky.
It is. It's very smoky. There's like, I think it's it's a floral smoky fragrance.
Yeah, there's a lot of carnation. The carnation and the violets really stand out with this one.
Yeah.
There's also ylang ylang in here, but it's not as strong for me.
It's almost like a citrusy, floral, smoky. It's kind of has like a lightness to it, weirdly. 'Cause
There's an airy quality for
there's
sure.
an airy quality.
It's not very dense. But it's actually quite nice.
It's interesting. It also feels very classic. Like it seems like a very classic fragrance to me.
Carnation. Whenever I see carnation in fragrances, it goes classic for me.
Totally.
And it has a pretty strong carnation note. But moving on to the house of Born to Stand Out, Smokin' Gun.
Smokin' gun.
Do you like a smokin' gun?
I have shot a gun one time in a what do you call it when you go to those
Oh, the shooting range?
shooting ranges?
This is just a smoky, boozy fragrance. But I think the smokiness is not so strong in this.
Yeah.
It's easier to wear. It's not overwhelming with the smoke. You've got tobacco. You've got incense, rum, and whiskey as well. In addition to that, you've got Campari. So it's overdosed with a lot of boozy notes. There's some sweet notes and citruses. And
I feel, is this typical of Born to Stand Out that a lot of their fragrances might have like a lot of gourmand touches, do you think? Because this to me seems a little on the, like there are gourmand
yeah,
touches. Like it's not full on, you know, any particular dessert, but it has like a sweetness to
yeah.
it.
There's vanilla. There's the boozy notes in
And
there.
it's almost nutty. It's almost,
So they do quite a bit of gourmands for sure.
yeah, it's lovely.
But they also do a bunch of boozy fragrances. This is the only smoky one that I found.
I love that there's Campari.
Yeah,
Like,
Campari is a note I don't see much.
I don't see that very much. That's really interesting.
Yeah. And then there's this one, which I absolutely love from the House of Comme des Garçons, and I've also used quite a bit of it. It's a black.
Yes, it's a good one.
This one actually is an eau de toilette, so it goes down faster.
Right.
But
Do you notice the difference when you wear it, that it's eau de toilette? It's
Oh, yeah.
It wears off.
it
quite-
doesn't wear dense.
Okay.
Like, which one was the dense? Like the Angelos Creations Olfactives, 1 or 2 sprays and
Yes.
you're set.
Yes.
That is extremely intense. I think it's like 30+%.
Okay. Yeah.
But this is, it's called black because they use black ingredients. So it's got birch, incense, licorice, leather, black pepper, olibanum. It's
I
smoky,
really like
woody,
it.
spicy.
It has like a kind of coldness to it, doesn't it? It's sort of, I mean, you're saying, I do smell this woody and the spices, but it has like a metallic darkness to it. I like that it's called black.
I wonder why you're getting, I think black pepper generally does
Oh.
create a metallic edge.
Is there like a clove spicy thing happening?
I think it's the licorice. There's licorice
right,
in here. It's quite mysterious and dark, yeah, but not,
like it.
not dense.
No. Yeah, that's true.
All right, going to an animalic smoky fragrance from the house of Thomas Kosmala. It's number 9, Bahur. Bahur. You into Bahur and Middle Eastern fragrances?
Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not that familiar with this
You know, I
particular fragrance, but
I discovered this in your neck of the woods at
okay.
Harrods.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Thomas Kosmala, but it's good for a naughty smelling.
This is the
fecally.
one that is a little on the poopy side. I
Poopy side.
love that. It's so nice. Yeah, it really does have
I think
an
it's the
animalic
oud.
note to it. It's oud.
Yeah, but they also claim musk, but I think we're getting that poopiness from the oud.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's really nice. So where's the brand from?
I think it's a French-English brand.
Okay.
I don't see them much.
I'm familiar with the way the bottle looks, but I'm not I'm not that familiar with many of their fragrances or any of them. This is the first time I've smelled them, actually.
This is also Elixir de Parfum, so it's highly concentrated. Little goes a long way. I bought a lot of their fragrances discounted.
Okay.
They're known mostly for a very molecular ambroxan balm,
Okay.
number 4, Après l'Amour, but I like that one
Yeah, I do too.
for
I
a
like
smoky
the oud.
animalic thing. Yeah. So we got another fougere with smoky touches. It's a Vert fougere. This one right here from the House of Florist, another one from your backyard, I guess I should
Yes,
say.
this one is definitely a British brand.
Yeah.
There is no question. Floris,
What do you think?
classic British heritage brand. Yeah, this one is really interesting.
Yeah, it's very green and aromatic and spicy, but there's the smoky touches that comes in.
It's kind of has like a sweetness to it.
Under there, there's amber, there's neroli, there's ginger.
It's the neroli that's coming up. It's really strange that it's a smoky fragrance because it's my brain isn't making sense of that.
Just imagine a fougere basically means fern. If they had that smell and it was burning, you're going to smell smoke.
So
And
it's,
also-
if it's a smoky fern,
Fern, yeah.
it's nice. It's really nice, but I wouldn't consider it like a properly smoky fragrance. It has that thin smoky thing
Yeah, it's
happening.
not an overly smoky. And if you're used to wearing fougere fragrances or barbershop fragrances that are not smoky at all, it might kind of rub you the wrong way.
Yes,
But
I
it's
could
not
see
like
that.
a smoke bomb.
No. If you're looking for a super smoky fragrance, that's probably not gonna
Not going to be it.
be it. Yeah.
And then moving on to Amouage with Interlude 53 Man. Are you familiar with this one?
Well, I know that it is a very popular fragrance.
Interlude Man is their most popular fragrance. I prefer the extract version. It's much more concentrated. It's more oily. You can actually experience the oiliness. And that oregano note with all the ambery touches and smoky frankincense touches. Do you get the oregano?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you like that or do you hate it? Because that's what they're known for.
I guess that's what's. It's almost like it smells like paint or something like turpentine or paint in a nice way, like in a nice kind of like a garage, like you're in like a mechanic's garage kind of thing. Yeah, it has like that, like rubber and metal parts that have been sitting in a mechanic's.
I can
for
see that.
a long time.
Oily, greasy.
It's really nice. So,
I really like the extract version. It's much more concentrated, much more intense, longer lasting.
So is the 53? Does that stand for the like amount of oil percentage?
I think so. 53 days of aging, I think is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Because they do different ones. I believe that's what
Right.
it is.
How many interludes are there? That's
So,
where it's.
It was originally just Interlude Man. There's also
Yeah.
an Interlude Woman. But
Yeah.
I think at the time, this was their most popular fragrance until now, which is Guidance most likely. Because Canton Biche is dominating everything. But they did an extract version of this. This was the first extract. But before this, they also launched an Iris version. I think, I don't know how that turned out. But I like this one.
Are the other ones smoky like this one?
The Iris is less smoky.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the house of Thomas de Monaco. It's Fuego Futuro. Once again, it's very aromatic, very spicy, and it becomes smokier on skin. This one, I don't think you're going to notice smoke on the strip.
Yeah, I've smelled this one before, but it's been since Cannes that I smelled it.
Oh, so it's smoked sage is what you're getting the smokiness from. For me, it smells like Northern California, autumn, dry, hot, the sage, cooking under the sun, and you can smell that
Definitely.
smell.
I'm getting that hay, and I'm definitely getting it has a smokiness to it. There is a wonderful spice that I can't think of the name of.
There's timut pepper here. There's lots of cedar. There's sandalwood, elemi, a lot of stuff. But I think it's the smoked sage that's giving us.
I think it might be the sage that is giving me that. It's not a spice, but you do use it in cooking. So
Yeah.
it definitely has like it doesn't remind me of like smoked salmon, but it's like it has a kind of it has like a foodie quality to it because of the spices that are used that you would eat smoked fish with.
Yeah. All right. Up next, going to the barbecue fragrance of the video. It's Zoologist Perfumes T-Rex or Tyrannosaurus Rex. Are you familiar with this one?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's quite smoky, charred. To me, it smells like greenery, woods, barbecued,
Yeah,
and spices. There's flowers in there
like
too.
like a smoked
Forest.
floral, smoked leaves.
It does have a barbecue smell for sure.
Definitely.
And I think it's the Cade that's causing the
It's
smokiness.
Cade as well. Yeah, for sure.
'Cause
Definitely.
we had Cade in A City on Fire,
Yeah.
but this is animalic.
Does Cade always smell smoky?
Sometimes it I think, yeah.
So I think for instance, Tartan Cask does not use Cade to create a smoky note,
Oh,
but
it's a woody note that created the smokiness.
it's actually the cedar that the type of cedar that was used to create the smokiness. So I wonder if it's usually Cade or so there's a slightly different smell when it has Cade in it, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
And you can smell the Cade in here and T-Rex for sure.
And also the other thing with this, it's so super long lasting. You only need 1 or 2 sprays.
I really like this one.
But something a little more easier to wear from the House of Mont Blanc, it's Black Meisterstuck. This is a less expensive fragrance compared to some of the fragrances we're talking about.
It's not niche, maybe. Is that why?
Yeah, it's
Is it
also
like a
designer level. It's very light wearing, and I think it's easier to wear if you're turned off by smoky fragrances and you want to kind of dabble into smoky fragrances. Mostly woody and amber as well. I think this works.
Like compared to the others, it's not really that smoky. I do like it.
Yeah, it's more woody, right?
Yeah, or incense or vetiver.
Vetiver. And then going to the house of Guy Fawkes with Nightcap for a boozy, smoky fragrance.
So Guy Fawkes is a brand that's from America?
Yeah, they started out in San Francisco. Now they are in San Diego.
Okay.
And I know them personally.
Oh, cool.
This was actually recently featured in Scent Club Mystery Box, the last one. Let me know if you guys got a sample and what you thought about it.
That's awesome.
It's boozy.
Yeah, I really like it. It doesn't have like a very poopy oud smell to it, so I'm surprised that oud is even in the fragrance list.
I think it's a mass market or westernized oud. It's not like the
It's not very oudy.
It's not like the oud in Bahor.
But anyway, I really like this. I like this nightcap.
Nightcap.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Sadly, it's a limited edition fragrance, so when they drop it again, they'll drop it again.
Will they?
Yeah.
So
they do 500 bottles at a time.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, up next, going to the house of Mayo Fascioni, it's Boyo. Buyo?
Boy, oh.
Boy, oh boy.
Boy, oh boy, it's good.
This is really good. Very indie artisanal, very spicy, very woody, leathery as well, and lots of aromatics here, but there's lots of smoke in here as well.
It's definitely boozy for sure.
You get booze?
Definitely.
I don't get a lot of booze from this.
Oh my God, it's so gorgeous. I absolutely love this one.
It's lots of leather with Cade. There's musk, vetiver, frankincense. There's labdanum, lots of woodsy notes.
The carrot seed as well is coming up. It also has like a slight turpentine smell to it that I'm attracted to. It's really, really nice.
Very good, very good. This is really, really great. Great work from a great perfumer. He's also a very nice guy if you know him personally. Giuseppe from this brand, Boyo. Check it out if you like more artisanal.
I love it.
Indie.
Boy, oh boy, I love that one.
Boy, oh boy, it's good. And speaking of indie artisanal houses, we're going to Andreas Wilhelm. Perfume Sucks, I think is what it's called, right?
Yeah. Perfume Sucks.
Perfume Sucks. Andreas Wilhelm. It's Fuel 0987.
Yes. I just love this bottle as well. It's so beautiful. But these are gorgeous fragrances.
There's writing on there, by the way.
Yes, I was going to try to show that off. It's kind of hard to show it off, but depending on the light, it's actually quite a majestic bottle. I don't know how they did that.
He did a great job on these bottles.
And the fragrances. This one is really interesting because it smells like fuel at first. It's called fuel.
Yeah, it's called Fuel. It smells like fuel, basically.
But after a while, it dries down really kind of sweet and pleasant. It's so interesting how it turns from like rocket fuel or car fuel to like this kind of really warm, cozy fragrance. It's magical.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing is there's a whole video on the whole entire collection that I shot with Andy from ZGO Perfumery. So if you're curious to learn more about the entire collection, there's actually a gourmand in there, a really yummy gourmand. Tune into that video and you'll find out the whole line. Then we've got two more left, guys. This next one is from the house of Atelier d'Azur. This is Bois Sicard.
Bois Sicard.
This is inspired by the whiskey distilleries, I believe.
Well, and cigars.
And cigars together.
I happen to know that the founder used to have a cigar brand, or that he was in the cigar business. So he certainly is an expert in smoking cigars.
Oof, it's very smoky.
It's really smoky. It's so beautiful.
But also boozy at the same time. Styrax, tobacco, gaiac, vetiver, woodsy notes, cedar. It's mostly a lot of woods with the Styrax creating the smokiness with the tobacco.
You have to like smoky fragrances to enjoy this fragrance. It's one of those. It's definitely on the smoky side.
Barbecue?
Yeah, like smokehouse.
Smokehouse.
I mean, not barbecued meats, but just like, in maybe even
the smoke in the smokehouse.
The smoke in the smokehouse.
Minus the meat.
Or the tanning house as well. It has that
the leather tanneries. Last but not least, guys, I mentioned this in a haul video recently. This is by Matthew Zink. I'm a little confused. Is it Charlie by Matthew Zink? I think it's just Matthew Zink. I think their website is Charlie by Matthew Zink. And I wanted to feature this because it's a very musky fragrance, but with lots of smoky touches. And look at the color.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's spicy as heck. This is created by Jan Vaznier. It's leather, cumin, elemi, cedar, nutmeg, patchouli, cloves, Georgie wood, silkalide, ambermax, and lots of other notes.
I know a little bit about ambermax, and I think it gives it that kind of large projection. Certainly, it has that woody projection, long-lasting, And when I first met you today, you were wearing it, and
Yeah.
it was like,
Was
you
it projecting?
Yeah, it was projecting.
I
You
had
could
just
really
sprayed it on.
You could really smell it, but it was beautiful, really gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Amber Max, there's the Georgie Wood, which it's created by Givaudan perfumer, so they're using Givaudan proprietary ingredients. The Silkalite is a synthetic musk. The Georgie Wood is an intense, clean, woody note. And then, of course, the Amber Max that
Yeah.
Sarah mentioned is kind of like ambroxan. But wonderful fragrance, really sexy, super spicy, smoky, and musky as well.
I definitely recommend that one. It's really cool. Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all the fragrances we have for you guys. And don't forget to check out Tartan Cask.
Yeah, check it out.
Brand
Especially if you
spanking
like
new.
Tartan. And if you didn't like Tartan.
It's much better than the original.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry to say that, but it is.
No, that's okay. I mean, the original actually had a love-hate thing going on. A lot of people loved it. It had a huge following. And then a lot of people also didn't like it as much. So it was interesting that this kind of came about by accident, actually. So it was really nice that we turned this accident into something that was actually really happy
Positive.
for everybody. Yeah, and the customers as well. We have a lot of happy customers that are now enjoying Tartan Cask.
That's awesome. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.